protect yourself and your family, and be certain with your future with Fidelity Life. It has been a long-time dedicated partner of IMG that provides life insurance benefit exclusively to its members to meet the risk protection needs. In partnership with Everest Memorial Memorial Concierge Services. With the consent of the beneficiary, Fidelity Life shall apply the insurance benefit to cover the expenses for the memorial services of the deceased member. At Fidelity Life, the care of our members and their families is our first and most important business. Be life confident by protecting your loved ones and securing your future.
Someday, you will get older, slower, grayer, but also wiser, calmer, and freer than ever. At Kaiser, we help you prepare for those years ahead, so you can keep doing what you love with the people that matter the most. Prepare for your future today. Kaiser International Health Group, the first name in healthcare.
Episode of Open Line News Media Forum here on MyTV Cebu, where all of our lines are open to discuss the latest and most relevant issues in business,
Love
economics, politics, traffic,
comes in many forms.
My name is 𝗟𝗶𝗲𝗄, and it's an all-female cast for your hosts and moderators for this Tuesday morning. Kauban nakakwaron si 𝗟𝗶𝗲𝗶. May buntag, Angie.
Good morning, Andy, and good morning sa tanan nato nga mga viewers sa MyTV Cebu. Again, as you follow our forum for today, palihog sad mi og follow sa among page, MyTV Cebu, and also our YouTube channel, MyTV Cebu.
Yes, and buot sad namong pasalamatan ang amuang mga partners and presenters for Open Line News Media Forum. We would like to thank International Marketing Group, or IMG, the Total Financial Solution, Manila Bankers Assurance, the life and non-life company, and the best way to show your love, Kaiser International Health Group Incorporated, Kaiser Medical Center, and Reyes Optical. Daghan sab kaayong salamat sa ato ang mga friends from the media, from the different media companies of Cebu for joining us physically. And if you are watching us online through MyTV Cebu's Facebook page or YouTube channel, you are free to join us in the discussion by typing in all of your questions, comments, or concerns in the comment section below. So, do na tayo tulo ka mga panelists karong buntaga, pero sugdan sab nato og ila-ila, Angie, atong first panelist for this Tuesday morning.
For today, atong unang ikauban, gikan sa Cebu City Transportation Office, the Assistant Department Head of CCTO, Attorney 𝗡𝗲𝗄𝗀. And also later, we will be joined by Cebu City Councilor Nestor Archival from the Cebu City Council, and also Father Jonathan Rubin, the Pastoral Director of Cebu Archdiocesan Shrine of San Pedro, Calungsod, for their activity. So later, ato nang mahibawan, but we will start the ball rolling sa pagisgot kalabot sa traffic, Andy.
Yes. All right. So, Attorney Kent, dagan kayong salamat no for joining us once again sa ato ang Open Line News Media Forum. Attorney, I think it's best to start the discussion with the updates. Kamusta naman ang ato ang BRT project? Kay daghan na sad ka ng medyo controversies ganito mao kabahin ini.
Okay, good morning. Good morning to our viewers. First off, ang katog yung pinaka-major nga issue inyo ang itakol da. I'll just keep it straight nga I'll just provide information in relation to the traffic concerns sa BRT.
Yes.
Considering that the Road Management Authority, that's the new name of the CCTO right now, is the lead agency of the city in relation to our traffic management sa whole territorial jurisdiction. Presently, we will be tackling this afternoon the link to the port. That is another feature, part of package 1 of the Cebu BRT project. The link to the port will start from the intersection of Fidel Rosario, a portion of Osmeña Boulevard until the intersection of MJ Cuenco, right in front of the Plaza Independencia. So this afternoon, actually right after this interview, the panel, we will be tackling and deliberating that one, considering that the contractor has already sent its request for a temporary road closure. Dako gini siyang impact kay the existing 2 lanes per bound, so 4 lanes na ang ato ang Osmeña Boulevard, will now be reduced into a 1 lane both bounds. Kay ato ang i-extend ang ato ang sidewalk. So that is in line with the directive of the mayor to pedestrianize the whole historical district sa ato ang Osmeña Boulevard, which also includes the vicinity of Basilica. So according to the contractor, they need at least a month in order to complete this one. Kay extend naman ang sidewalk, and then they will also make a new pavement for the new asphalted road.
Appeal judicial attorney sa initial plans for the phase 1 or nadugang na lang niya palapdan na rin ang daan. Kaya marag, dili pa kayo fully aware ang mga
Yes.
tao ba nga na-adaining link to the port.
Sakto juga na. We have the same observation. Kami dito sa RMA, we were even, sa may tawagan na, what's the better term for it? Surprise. Surprise. That there's something as a link to the port. It was not discussed last year when the DOTR as well as the contractor first initiated the request for road closure. Last year man tayo nagsugod sa itong mga road closures. So kami sa AMOA, we would like to adopt a principle in public transportation which is calming of the traffic. Ang pangutana diya karon, how can we calm the people when we are trying to send requests for road closures in just pila days time, mga less than a week. Mauna nga this noon time, I hope nga DOTR will also explain their side what is the significance of this feature of the BRT, because the city perhaps doesn't want it to stop. Yes, we don't want it to stop, but we want to be fully informed. Kay information will spell the difference from the rant of the people nganong naay traffic and accessibility and the smooth flow of traffic as soon as they know what are the alternative routes.
Kano sa man ni siya planong sugdan ang closure, attorney? And is it possible ba nga partial ang closure within 1 day, like gabi ang trabaho, niya paagian igbuntag?
Yes, that is also what we are trying to explain to and impose to the contractor. Me being the board secretary of the TMC board, which is headed by our chairman, Councilor Reyes Optical, would like to adopt the existing guidelines for road construction and maintenance, which is under the ordinance, will start at 11 p.m. and will end at 4 a.m. the following day. According to the contractor, doable ko no? Because they will just scrape off the existing asphalt and then put a new asphalt road. But sa AMUA is, how do we go about when they will eventually extend the sidewalk? Now, Okay raman ang Osmeña Boulevard because we have parallel roads in between. For diri sa southbound na Leon Kilat, na sa Borromeo, ngadto ang northbound pwede na to paagi on Legazpi all the way to Pilaes. But we want to calm down the traffic, gradual lang siya. Me personally would like to have it implemented per segment. Kaya makita ninyo sa Osmeña Boulevard na amo guna say block. So if pwede na to ma-close ang usa ka block, then we could divert the other jeepneys, the public utility vehicles into other streets. Ato lang lahion ang northbound o southbound para equally distributed sila. It will be very challenging for us considering bisag abli na natanan, matraffic ganita. How much more if there will be temporary closure?
How ready ang mga PUJ drivers at sila mo kayo directly affected, attorney? Nano ba sila idea ani and unsay plans sa CCTO?
We are constantly in coordination with our jeepney operators, especially kaning mga bag-o na itong mga modernized public utility jeepneys. They have a group called the Federation of Transport Cooperatives in Cebu. It's headed by a member also of the traffic board who is Ma'am Ellen Maghanoy. Lipay lang yun mayani nila kay even if makuha-kuhaan gyud taon ilahang ginansya, pero they are very supportive. Why? Because they are also compliant with the PUVMP. Mo na nga makita na to sa kadalanan na to karon, modernized na gyud sila. Although we are still trying to create an environment and a culture of driving modernized, nga mosunod gid sa traffic rules, especially if natay mga diversion routes at to gid sila moagi para dili sad maglibog ato ang mga pasahero. Pero hopefully we are getting there. Di man good ni siya overnight nga kuan mausab dayon ang culture kay at the end of the day we are trying to paint another picture nga the jeepneys are not the king of the road, but they are the ones who will guide us to our destinations.
In this ongoing debate, attorney, of whether or not to continue the CBRT project, personal opinion lang yung mga attorney, considering the amount of work that has already been completed
Yes.
ba, are you in favor of kanang ipadayon jud ni para dili mahimong murag futile ang kaning efforts na nahimo na?
Personally, I think it's time for us not to take sides, whether or not to pursue or to stop it. Why? Because for all we know, every person here in this room has a contribution to the project because it's the people's money. So are we going to ask ourselves nga, if we are going to stop it, then it means nga we are just putting our monies to the drain. So why not continue it? For me, personally, I think there's still time. Curative ang ato ang kuan ba? Because for all we know, we already have that infrastructure. We already widened the road, actually. For us, being road managers, widening the road will spell a difference from a congested Osmeña Boulevard during peak hours and a smooth sailing and accessible downtown area. So, let's try. Kay naanang infrastructure, we already have those PUVMPs nga mga modern jeepneys nga nag-operate karon. Why not let's make a compromise and let's try it out, and whether or not it will fail or it will succeed, at least we have that infrastructure ready for the development of the city, because for all we know, it's the people's money.
Sige, move on ta from the BRT issue. Another concern, attorney, nga daghanag mga complaints ang katawhan kining nagkagrabe nga traffic sa SRP. Unsa man ang lihok sa RMA or CCTO kabahin ni problema, attorney?
We have observed that the main cause of our traffic congestion, aside from the high volume of vehicles during peak hours, kanang early morning 6 to 9 a.m., and late afternoon and early evening, kanang 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., daghan man gyud na, going to work and going back home. Pero naagyoy factor motor kung naay maguban sa karsada, especially to the whole South Coastal Road, especially diya sa Viaduct Bridge. But after what happened months ago, katong grabe nga horrendous nga traffic, we met with our counterparts sa DPWH. We discovered that there's a feature in the Viaduct Bridge that allows us to put a zipper lane. There's a detachable center line. Ang tawag na mo ana sa amuang parlance is a turtle, ano sa isumpay to? Mura siya it's made of cement, but you will put it on the center to put a separator. So kana siya every 300 meters and another 300 meters, it can be detached sa whole viaduct bridge. And also, we are now in negotiations with our CCLEX that there's a company willing to provide us with towing services whenever there will be a disabled vehicle due to mechanical or blown out tire diya sa whole stretch of the SRP para malikaya na to itong nahitabo atong few months ago. And following the direction of Mayor Mike nga naman siya mantra karon nga never again anywhere in Cebu City nga naingon nato nga gravity sa traffic just because of one vehicle being disabled. Mao na nga we are now making our lines open, putting negotiations on the table for private companies to offer their services to the city, especially during those times. But we are now purchasing a mega tow truck for all 5 sectors ato ang city.
Kaugalingon na ni sa city
Kaugalingon ni nato para dali lang gyud ningon sa mayor anywhere in Cebu City. So kinahanglan. Actually we have 2 right now. 2 serviceable tow trucks, but it has only the capacity of a 4x4 SUV.
So dili kaya ang mga dagkong truck, attorney.
Dili gid niya sa kaya, especially if loaded siya.
Pero question, attorney, kaning i-shoulder aning company sa CCLEX, for free ba ni nga ito kung maabirya ang tow truck or naasad bias like kaugalingon nga penalty nga kinahanglang bayran para ma-inform sad ang katawhan ba nga unsa sad ang consequences kung magubaan kag sakyanan?
Under the law, under City Ordinance 718 or the Prohibition Against Disabled Vehicle, which authorizes the RMA to tow the same in order to avoid traffic congestion or obstruction to the flow of traffic, there's a penalty. What the board made right now is that every hour thereof that it stays on the street, there's a corresponding penalty of 1,000 pesos. So, ang among gibuhat karon na among mohangi usad nato nga kami na lang mo'y mubiraan na sila'y private contractor nga makabira. Pero kung peak hours na gali siya, we are left with no choice but to impose our authority and to assure nga wala gi obstruction sa ato ang mga kadalanan. Now, with the offer of CCLEX, because they also have their own tow truck, and we are very much happy because it's their corporate social responsibilities at considering that they also operate in the South Coastal Road. They are offering their services, but it's for a fee. Naaman sila standard fees for it. And then, mauna, hopefully, we would go to the table and make and agree upon with City Council for Imoa para makakuha na gyud ato nga services nila.
Gyapon sa SRP, attorney, o sa problem kay daghang pong mga accidents, no? For the past weeks nato adlaw nga murag 3-4 ang aksidente sa SRP. Kumusta ang implementation nato sa motorcycle lanes number 1 and kani pong mga accidents para paglasan?
Yes, just last year we launched the motorcycle lane. It's patterned with what is featured in EDSA. Naasad sila yung mga motorcycle lanes dito. Definitely, it's just designating lanes for the motorcycles away from those big trucks. Kay we cannot deny the fact nga lisod sa peripheral vision sa mga drivers, sa mga trailers, sa mga dump trucks. Yan, naagod ni sila sa fast lane. And then if you will allow the motorcycles to change lanes indiscriminately, like what is presently happening right now in our major thoroughfares, there's great possibility for accident. So we designated a lane for them. Just follow the speed limits. Speed limit na to sa SRP is 60 kilometers per hour. So, di lang sila mulapas, ana. They have their own designated lane. So far, so good. Kay Moagi ito every day. We pass by that area because our office is there. Daghan dyan kayo ang musunod na. Unlike atong last year. And to resonate also, our implementation is naaman tayo public address equipped in all of our patrols. Ato agad na silang giyahan. We don't let them stop because they violated. We call out their attention in order to go to their lanes. Naay gitawag nga stay on your lane. So mao na mo ang gibuhat. Keep right lang gyud. Sunod lang gyud sa motorcycle lane. Likay sa disgrasya.
Sa mga main roads sa Nata Turn, I think shared lanes na pud for motorcycle and bicycle. Last year, gihingusgan man gud nato ang mga magbisikleta ba mahatagan sila priority. Kumusta sa datong monitoring karon?
Ang atoang implementation sa atoang Cebu bike lanes. It's very good because we have our own bike patrollers under the Cebu Bike Lanes Board that's headed by Chair. Maayo sad ang implementation. Why? Because they also have their patrollers nga mo-guide gyud sa mga bikers, especially during peak hours. Niya, makabantay mo diha sa kulon, ang kanang ato ang mga jeep, di gyud na sila mutamak sa bike lanes. Kay once they will go to the bike lane and impede the passage of our bikers, there's a corresponding penalty which is termed as obstruction to the bike lane. So kana dako gyud na siya, that's about 1,000 pesos. So wala, I hope wa naman hinuon tayo reported, but I hope that we can maintain and be consistent in our enforcement, but we badly need the shared responsibility of the people and the motorists.
Sa di patamu pa dayon sa tong discussion, Angie, ato sa ding i-acknowledge ang arrival ni Councilor Nestor Archival. He will be our second panelist after we open the floor to questions from our friends from the media for Attorney Jongoy. Sige, you were saying.
To add lang siguro, Andy, because sa other cities pa gihingusgan nila kining ilang operations against counterflow. Kumusta diri sa Cebu City, Attorney?
Yes, we also have that in our traffic code. It's not called counterflow, but we have our own term for it. That is, the violation for counterflowing under the traffic code is crossing solid line. So, ang crossing solid line is definitely nilabang juga sa center line, going against the flow of traffic. Now, me being the legal and investigation head, the one who will be signing complaints, bayubay gyud mafailan ana. Kasagaran sa ato ang mafailan those operating two-wheeled vehicles. Mga motorcycles kasagaran. We're doing it regularly. Dili lang kay operation basis. Kay most if not top 5 sa ato ang mga commonly violated nga mga provisions under the traffic code, apil diha ang kanang no stopping anytime, very famous no parking, mahog nga clamping na hinuon siya. Ang third niya is kanang jaywalking. Ang fourth is kanang crossing double or single solid line. Kana siya, it's commonly known today as counterflow. I hope lang pod nga magmatngon sa niya to ang mga drivers motorcycle. We don't want to wait for another accident nga or a life loss because of counterflowing, because for us in RMA, we treat everyone equally on the road. But maulagi na, treating them equally on the road will also give them the responsibility to follow our traffic rules and regulations. So please stay on your lane.
Pilay penalty ani, Attorney?
Crossing solid line, it's 1,000. 1,000.
1,000 gihapon.
Oh, 1,000 na siya. Pero mafaila na nato siya kaso, that will now be 3,000.
Okay. Ya kani pag yun ang usa sa mga source sa road rage, attorney, no? Kay ang kasugat sad mo ingon nga kinsa may mo adjust na tong duha.
Yes.
Nga ikaw may ni-encroach sa ako ang lane.
Kana, mo gyud na siya. I advise to our motorists, especially ako nag-drive man sad ko, pero let's not put the law in our hands. We have traffic enforcers, bisag gamay tuod mi, but we cover most of our intersections. And we are not just looking at you, motorists and pedestrians. We are managing both vehicular and pedestrian traffic. We want everyone to have their shared responsibility on the road. For us to enforce, there's also a responsibility for our drivers and pedestrians to follow our traffic rules and regulations. So following it will not only keep our lives safe, but will also make our city orderly and us reaching our destinations safe and sound.
Last question, attorney, before we open the floor to questions from our media friends. Nagkagrabe na ang kainit. El Nino is here. Padung na summer season. Kamusta man ang atuasang pag-amping sa itong mga traffic enforcers nga mabuwad yun in town sa naglagiting nga init sa adlaw?
Yes, it's a bit challenging for us. Kay kanilagi, there's a common kaning gitawag nila nga observation ba? Nga magpalandong konomi. But mo lagi na, at the end of the day, we are just humans. Mo na sa amua diha sa RMA, during peak hours, from 6 to 9, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., naagyo na itong enforcers sa tunga sa dan. But during those non-peak hours, di na to siya matawag nga idle hours, di na to siya matawag nga mingaw nga panahon, pero naagya pon sila sa kadalanan. Pero allow us, understand us, nga magpalandong sa ta, kay di man ni robot ato ang mga traffic enforcers town. Luoy sa town kayo, although panoy reported nga nagka-heat stroke, pero simbako palayo town. We are very much thankful for other benefactors po nga, offering us with free bottles of water. Dagan kayong salamat. It goes a long way to our traffic enforcers. Kay karon nag-init yung mayo sa mot na padung na korisma. So I'm very proud of my traffic enforcers kay bisan og naglagiting ang kainit, kusog ang uwan, ang ubang lugar nagbaha pero barugan gyud gihapon ang intersection.
All right. Sige, G. Ato nang i-entertain ato ang questions from our media friends. Go ahead and please approach the mic stand. Kay Attorney Jongoy also has to leave in 10 minutes. Go, Earl. Doon lasa na ang chorizo.
Hi, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So, Earl Padronia of Sansar. Cebu, sir, in relation lang sa kaning ongoing CBRT project diya sa may Osmeña Boulevard, labi na sa kaning iskina sa Pedro, sir. Nalang po yung concern ba, curious lang ko, pila ka mga siguro enforcers ang atong ipang-assign diya. Labi na nga, kanigong area, sir, kay congested ni siya with students sa mga different universities and colleges nga naara do sa area, sir, ba nga. Unsa atong mga siguro mga measures na to or plans na to nga ensures nga aside from students, other pedestrians at kay luwas ang ilang paglabang diya. Kay labi na yung mga concern ba kanang murag debris pa diha nga medyo hazard siya sa mga pedestrians.
Generally, in every intersection, there are about 2 to 3 traffic enforcers. So for that whole stretch, so good as London, there are 2. Diya sa Pedro Rosario, there are 3 because it's a big intersection. Dirita sa south, sa western side, padung sa south, that's Leon Kilat intersection, Imol, natay tulo sa diha. And then arita diri sa ubos nga part ngadto sa eastern side, padung sa University of San Carlos, diha sa Mayhunkera, naa sa tay duha. So that's more or less about 10 personnels. Butang lang nato. And not to mention the other patrol vehicles nga nag-roving for the central sector. Nagandagan gina sila diha. We always remind them of the safety of the pedestrians. Why? Mo man ay ato ang tawag nga university or school belt diha. Di ba? We have about 3 or 4 schools operating in that area. So, makita ninyo karon, especially during peak hours, naagyoy na guide nga enforcer for the pedestrians. Lahi ito ang nag-guide po sa mga vehicles. Now, it's a challenge considering that there's an ongoing construction in the area. But we hope that the OTR would also do their part. Why? Because there's what we call safety measures, occupational hazard na manggod. Why? They are opening a pit nga gibutangan nila o kaning sa ilahang nag-excavate sila for the culverts, for the drainage, but there's no safety measures there. Ang gibutang yellow line. So I hope that the OTR will also do their job of informing the contractor of the basics of construction safety. Kay kana di man gyud nato na malikayan asa man ni nato palakon ang mga tao sa karsada. There's still a portion nga walkable, but considering the population of the schools in the area, these are public schools. So dagan-dagan gini silang estudyante. So I hope sad nga there are also measures that will be implemented by the project implementing unit para sa safety sa ato ang mga estudyante nga naglakaw diha.
Follow-up question lang, sir. So you mentioned man, sir, no, nga natay mga enforcers gipan-deploy diha nga area. Curious lang ko ni sa ilang oras sa deployment, sir. So from morning to evening na sila available na sila within?
Yes, sir. For major intersections, we have 2 shifts. That's from 6 a.m. in the early morning until 2 p.m. And then another shift in the afternoon, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. For the remainder of the night and early morning, patrol ang ato ang nag-roving sa kadalanan. Wala gyoy enforcer nga nagbarog ana, mingaw man gyud ang mga orasa. But we have round-the-clock patrol roving and monitoring the streets of the city.
Mukha lang sa umuli, mulahi lang ko question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Kaning umabot nga road closure na to with kaning sa Osmeña Boulevard, eskina sa Pedro padong sa MJ Cuenco. Since project man ni sa DOTR, sir, nanay timeline si DOTR, labi na ilang kaning ilang contractor kano sa natin sugdan para makaandam nailiwi ang mga motorist nga makaandam sila ni, sir?
Yes, initially, they said that they need to close the portion of Osmeña Boulevard for 30 days. But the traffic board wanted it to be implemented segment per segment para dili kayo dako ang impact niya sa ato ang road users and the motorists. So, I hope this afternoon, the traffic board, together with the contractor and the OTR, will come into an agreement as to the work schedule. Kay that's very important for the information of the public, as well as how do we go about of the closure. Kay if we will close the whole stretch, that's a very big problem for us.
Yes, sir.
How do we manage nga considering that's the business and educational district of the city? So we hope nga by this week we could come up with the final decision as to the road closures, and we could also post signages and advisories.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions? Sige. Si Bombo Jun.
Ay muntag, attorney.
Yes, sir.
Ako lang pagkara, attorney, ba kay pag last week na isunog sa Veterans Drive sa
Oh, yes, sir.
Camparina ba?
Oh.
Nagikan ko Babulo Police Station. Pag ulit na ko, agi ko sa Ludo Cemetery.
Ludo. Yes, sir.
Pagkibaw na ko nga naisunog, ni right turn ko. Straight, Queensland, right turn.
Okay.
red pa, no right turn on red signal. Sa media mo good, sir, attorney, kay pinaspasa sa sunog ba? Nga, lalo na sa bumuradyo, get it first, fast and right. Kaya balo ko red siya, pero ako sa ni right turn ko. Kay sa masanandan, o naisunog man good, brag, pimimigitali ba? Ako bag media, kaya ba po na po. Gidakop ko yan, hangi ko ba nga, ma'am, kadali na ba ko, naisunog ba? Pwede ba kumukuan? Sa nga, dili man, naman kay violation. Ang mga media, basig na, nadigili po mo mulahos, basta red, basta pag naisunog.
Yes, sir. Generally, sir, under the traffic code, only authorized emergency vehicles under Article 4 or 3 are allowed to, are exempted from the provisions of the traffic code. I think, sir, it's high time that we make amendments considering the nature of your job and things that you respond to. Okay, di raman mo responder for emergency, you are there to inform the public pod. I think, sir, that it's high time nga makuan. Sir, I welcome that development and I hope to see a letter from our media practitioners kay kana, di ba, kita ko sa inyo ang mga vehicles na ginidako kayong media niya, you being there as one of the first responders, sir, will also help us and support us in disseminating important information to the public. So, kato, sir, nahitabo man to siya, status quo, mangyo exemption, but pwede rajud kayo mo dool sa officer. There's such a thing as adjudication.
Mao na ni ako giklaro, sir, attorney, kay sa kunandan magud, hindi na mga sulog, mga patay, kita og sito o CCTO niya, bisag grade pa na, isaw, sir, agi ko sara kanay sunog. Sige sir, mana raman sabot ra ba?
Oh, kuan man gud, sir. Muna kaning some of our personnels, they don't wa sad kuan, sir ba, dili sad siguro sila familiar pod. Pero sige lang, sir, we will do our best to make necessary accommodations on that, but it would be better nga naagi legislative intervention kay kamo first responder man sad bund mo during na mga emergencies, pareha nang naisunog. Para nako, sir, it would fit in the description nga emergency pod mo. Pero mo lagi na kinahanglan sad nga naapoy proper identification para sad nga dili pod lisod sa amo ato identify this vehicle as a marked authorized emergency vehicle.
Salamat, attorney.
You're welcome, sir.
Napatay dugang pangutana. Attorney na lang di anonymous commenter. Kaning
Sige.
bagong street lights, attorney, dapit sa Grand Con going to Banilad. Na lang day comment sa mga motorists nga blinding daw siya kay it's faced da ang kahayag kuno sa mga suga nga naglaray diha ikagabi daw, attorney, kay facing the driver, so suwawan daw sila. So comment lang ni sa ato ang viewer nga if pwede daw they should face it down sa sidewalk and not at the road kay makalabad daw sa Kinsa nag-install aning
our street lighting, ma'am, there's a street lighting division under the Department of Public Services, DPS. We will relay their concern.
Yes.
Kay para sa amoa sad, it's a dangerous thing.
Yes,
for the motorist, makakos na hinuon na og bangga tungod sa glare.
Tinuod. Basig pwede ni matanaw sad sa ato ang mga road managers, attorney.
Yes, ma'am. We will definitely make a post on that within the week.
All right. Okay, sige. Last question from Queenie.
Good morning, attorney. I'd just like to clarify, ang kaning link to the port nga connection sa Phase 1 sa BRT, dili niya siya part sa ruta sa buses, but instead, appeal niya siya sa ginaingon ni Mayor nga himuon niyang walkable city. So, ang kaning from 4 lanes nga dalan, mahimo siyang 2 lanes, kay i-occupy siya sa expansion of the sidewalk?
Yes, you're correct on that. That's the direction. Yes. Actually, ang giingon gali ni Architect Yumi, who is also part of the making of the pedestrianization of the Colon in Osmeña Boulevard, nga nakatugma ang ilahang kuan, ang sa BRT o sa pedestrianization ni Mayor Mike. So, kana, it's challenging. Kung saan na to, asa na to ibutang ni atong mga existing nga ruta. Pero, ato ang tanaw, we will study further on the feasibility of it.
So ang budget for this, attorney, is part of the sa DOTR?
Yes, part ni siya sa katong package 1 nga budget. Same contractor na gihapon ang mo undergo sa project.
All right, thank you very much. Attorney, would you like to give your final reminders to all of our viewers?
Okay, still the same. The Road Management Authority, the formerly Cebu City Transportation Office, or famously known before as CITO, is here to remind our motorists, not just the motorists, but also the road users and pedestrians alike, that we have our shared responsibility in the streets and in the sidewalks. For the street, please avoid making unnecessary stops that would create congestion and obstruction. For the sidewalk, ato ang inumduman, ang sidewalk dili para sa sakyanan, pero para sa katawhan. It's the ease of access of all of the pedestrians and road users. So I hope nga we would follow our existing traffic rules and regulations, and traffic management, as they say, is a shared responsibility. Thank you and good morning.
Alright, ito pakpakan si Attorney Jongoy. Dagan kayong salamat, Attorney, for gracing us with your time and presence. Og mga kauban, mo balik ta together with our second and third panelists for this Tuesday morning's Open Line News Media Forum after these few reminders from our partners.
Protect yourself and your family and be certain with your future with Fidelity Life. It has been a long-time dedicated partner of IMG that provides life insurance benefit exclusively to its members to meet the risk protection needs. In partnership with Everest Memorial Services, Fidelity Life is also providing its members with free access to 24/7 Memorial Concierge services. With the consent of the beneficiary, Fidelity Life shall apply the insurance benefit to cover the expenses for the memorial services of the deceased member. At Fidelity Life, the care of our members and their families is our first and most important business. Be life confident by protecting your loved ones and securing your future.
Someday, you will get older, slower, grayer, but also wiser, calmer, and freer than ever. At Kaiser, we help you prepare for those years ahead, so you can keep doing what you love with the people that matter the most. Prepare for your future today. Kaiser International Health Group, the first name in healthcare.
Before IMG,
I was a civil engineer.
Accountant.
I was a plain housewife.
Before IMG, I used to be a doctor.
I was a maintenance crew.
Factoring operator.
I'm a housewife. I was an accounting clerk. I am a medical doctor.
I am an engineer.
Before IMG, I used to be a teacher.
I was a government employee.
A production worker.
I am a bank employee.
Before IMG, I was an admin staff.
I was a seaman.
A design engineer. I was a deli manager.
I was a telecom engineer. Before IMG, I was quality director.
I used to be a doctor. Production operator. An industrial engineer.
IT home-based freelancer.
Before IMG, I was a manufacturing specialist. I was an exporter. Admin officer. I was a florist.
Before IMG, I was a service crew.
I'm great.
I am great.
I am
G. I am great. I am G. I am G.
I am G. I am great. I am
MG.
I am great.
I am great.
I am great.
Welcome back to Open Line News Media Forum together with our second and third panelists for this morning's discussion. Paila-ila pag-usab, Ms. Angie.
For the second part of our forum, let's welcome from the Cebu City Council, the Minority Floor Leader, Cebu City Councilor Nestor Archival. Good morning, sir. And also joining us for this second part of our forum is Father Jonathan Rubin, the Pastoral Director of the Cebu Archdiocesan Shrine of San Pedro, Calungsod. Good morning, Father.
Let's start the discussion with Councilor Archival. Con, salamat kaayo sa pagbalik after your first forum with us. Konsehal, since nasugda naman ginato ang diskusyon kaganiha with Attorney Jongoy, kabahin ni aning CBRT nga project, Cons pa, may we also hear your thoughts about this, especially nga dunay ongoing nga debate whether or not to continue or halt the project.
Well, okay, in my opinion, let's proceed and continue. Well, the project has been conceptualized 30 years ago, and we know for a fact that we have already the budget. In 2014, we have 10.6 billion. In 2017, we have about 16 billion. And right now, we have about 28 billion that's allocated for that project. And we understand sa mga hinganlan nato og study, feasibility study nga gi-conduct sa World Bank, this is viable. This is okay for the people who are riding from Bulacau going to the city center and going to Talamban back to the city center. Gihimo ni nga project in order katong mga tao nga nagtindog sayo sa buntag 4 o'clock in the morning to 7:30 makasakay padung sa syudad, at the same time makabalik during the time nga padung sa sila sa balay. Again, they will start sa hapon, mag-start sila tindog padung sa alas 7. So, according to that study, of course, ato nang matambalan. Now we are there and we're about to finish the first phase. I think it's very important nga ato ning ipadayon. Now, para nako, there would be a lot of implications kung dili ni nato mapadayon. Number one, ang funders nato, which is actually the World Bank, of course, ang DOTR mao'y tag-iya sa project, mahibulong. Niya maingon sila na, nga naman, the project has been approved and there is a feasibility study that is feasible, niya nga nung ihunong karon. So, sa sunod pang mga project, kung yan ay gustong mutabang nato, of course, di na lang sila mutabang because wala man ni klaro ang atong mga LGUs, di man magkasinabot. In fact, kasabot ko, during the time nga this was being conceptualized and being followed up, of course, the provincial government, the city government, and all other institutions which are supposed to be part of the team agreed already that this is feasible and there is a go for that project.
Sa lang imoy kasulti, Cons, kabahin aning mga nitumaw nga mga debate about the legal ownership of a certain portion diha sa Osmeña Boulevard, kining argument nga matabunan ang fasad sa Capitol Building.
Yeah, I agree. And during the time when the Vice Mayor made a privileged speech, nga gusto niya ipahunong si San Disease because, of course, puto bomber na siya. Murag nuisance. O niya, dili makita ang atong, of course, Capitol Building, which is the Heritage Building. Well, kung imong makita, giside sa Vice Mayor nga, kanibitang controversy between the DMCI and which is the developer of the 𝗡𝗲𝗄𝗀 de Manila, and at the same time with the Knights of Rizal organization nga na sila ikiha. Ningon ang Knights of Rizal nga, this is not a good idea because this is a nuisance because the moment you are going to face the monument, makita itong dako kayo nga building. Murag puto bomber. And according to the Supreme Court, there is no kind of reason for that. Ang reason na ang heritage katong 10 Republic Act 1066 na ingon lang na we are going to maintain the heritage and whatever concept of heritage is there as long as dili siya bungkagon o dili siya usbon nga dili in line with the heritage directions. Maurag yun na ang naa sa balaod. And the other thing is in the law, as what I have understood, nga walay project nga naaprubahan na sa hingalan na itong national government nga ipahunong.
But kani ba siyang issue? Nigawas na ba niya sa una cons? Well, during doing the study, coordinating with the province before na-approve ang project?
No. For so many years, I was part of that BRT team during the time of Mayor Tommy and of course Mayor Mike Crama. There was so many discussions about this. And the routes were being discussed. But the thing there is that ang itabo, wala mapakita o unsay dagway. And we know for a fact nga naa na din ha, but knowing that there is a station that is basically in that road, in that area, wala na ma-take up. So, considering wala na ma-take up, karon na nagtindog, na nakita nila, of course, siguro na ay mga heritage consultants na, uy, di man ni makita, ato ning tanaon. But para na ako, cease and desist is something like very strong. During the time when the resolution was, raised in the council, I asked for a 3-minute recess. I was telling the group, the minority and ang grupo namo sa minority o sa majority, I was telling them that, look, the governor has a point, and of course we have a point too. However, if we're going to put this in a very strong manner, cease and desist, again, we will not be giving a good signal to everybody. Well, to the people who will be riding. The second one to the funders, and of course to the national government. And we should realize that in February 2023, the president, the mayor, and the governor was here to inaugurate and launch that what we call as the BRT, and we're very proud of it. It was very highlighted in the national and international scene. And now, pag-abot sa 1 year after, atong ingnon nga ipahunong. So I had that resolution a week ago, asking the city government through the mayor and of course the governor, na instead of, doing some arguments in the media, we are asking them to sit down and try to find ways that pwede ba nato ni masabot? Nakaroon ka ng stasyonan nga naa dool sa Capitol, pwede ba nato maatras? And I'm sure, and I have talked to Engineer Imbong, they have already raised this item to the DOTR. I-actionan na nila.
Like, possible ba ni Cons nga i-redesign na lang di ang area or tungod approved naman nga project dili na pwede buhaton?
Yeah, of course. There's always that possibility because again, there's ang governor na point. Of course, kita gusto natang mapaduman. Now, I was telling you earlier na si Engineer Imbong ilan na ning ipasupot dito sa katong DOTR, and I'm sure there will be a possibility of probably redesigning it. Ang kato sigurong iyang structure, iyang mapamupan in such a way nga makita na there's always a solution to our problem. But ang arguments kung naa sa media man god medyo highlighted yan ay items nga dili kay maayo. So mauna I was suggesting and it was approved by the city council. In fact, naingon sila nga mas maayo sigurong i-appeal nato ang mga konsehal o ang mga board. I agree with that.
So is it possible, Cons, nga dunay panagtigom sa city council and provincial council?
Of course, there is a possibility.
We can come up with a compromise.
Yes. Ang point lang, Ana, because we are just legislators, ang muhimo gud na ang executive, it might be the mayor will say, go, pwede ta maglingkod. Or the gov will say, okay, we will sit down. And that is the place where we can find solution, I think.
You think, Cons, that this halting the project would put Cebu in a bad light to future benefactors
Sure.
sa kaning mga investment projects, no?
That is very, very clear.
Okay. Cons, ako lang follow up katong mga executive sessions nga imong gipatawag. Katong first was you called for an executive session to look into the collection and disbursement of the city government. Nahuma naman to siya, Cons, no?
Okay. This is the case. This is basically on the aspect of what we call as the budget. Okay? If you can recall, one of the decisions nga nangutana ko sa City Treasurer, well, by the way, ang una na tong budget, that's 100 billion. then we reduce it to 50 billion, and then right now it's 25 billion. Now, I was raising this issue to the city treasurer and of course the budget and the accountant that, look, for the past, I think 9 years, the maximum that we can collect is something like 8.5. Right now, we're about 1.5. If we are going to raise the taxes, especially the RPT, how sure are you that we can collect more than 8.5? Maunay akong punto. The next point nga akong gisulti is, can we just probably increase a little bit? And then the other thing is, aside from increasing, we will have to have an efficient collection. Maog yun ay akong in the minority point of view. But then again, right now, we're pushing for that 25 billion, and hopefully, and I don't know if it's hopefully, the next few weeks, na aming session, there will now be a pushing of, trying to put this RPT increase into reality.
By how much ang imuhang suggestion?
I understand from 3,000 to 5,000%.
5,000%. And it is about time, you think?
Well, for me, it is about time to increase. But increasing this to the extent that the taxpayers can hardly pay, I think this is disadvantageous to both the city and its constituents. Because ang punto manggod nako, if we are going to collect the taxes nga taag-as gyud kayo, and some of the establishments that can pay, katong nga dagko nga kompanya, bayad sila, pero murag bubayad siya kanang murag iyang butangan nga this is nakoy complain, murag tangan niya og certain kanang ibutang dito sa iyang what you call this, iyang pagbayad nga kanina on protest. Kung on protest na siya, there's a question now if this taxes nga gi-protest, magamit ba nato?
You also called for another executive session, Cons, to look into the groundwater supply status of Cebu. Do you think alarming na ni siya nga concern?
Okay, that groundwater problem is very, it's a very important concern. And if you're going to look at it right now, kay taga-bukid man ko, 98% of the spring katong naang nga makuhaan na tubig sa atong kabukiran, wala na, dried up. So right now, makakita ka, daghan kayong mga request gikan sa mga barangays, na padadaan silang tubig. Can you just imagine nga ang tubig is the source, the mountain katong kabukiran mo is the source of the water, ya sila mismo way water? Okay? So, mauni, pinakadako, para nako, this is a crisis that should be faced, nga tagaan na to proactive stance. Now, there are so many wells all over the city. Kanang atong aside from kanang hinganan natong MCWD wells, daghan kayo ang mga puso sa mga private nga uncontrolled. Mauni na kuyawan nato because right now, siguro makabantay mo ang atong mga kauban sa media, or makinanglan sa mo makabalo, that the area somewhere capital is already salty. So makita ninyo, sobra kayo ang pag-pump up nato sa tubig nga fresh water so that ang iyang pressure gamay na, that's why musud na ang salty water. So if that is the case, the more maglisod ta og tubig, the more mamahal ang atong tubig.
Konsa mention to nimo ang katong mga gikan sa mga bukirang barangay of Cebu City nga sila nanuoy walay access sa tubig. This is also confirmed by MCWD Chairman Joey Daluz. He was one of our guests last week. And then, ang ihang nahisgot po dito, Cons, was because naapa ko no'y daghan nga wala na signan nga permits from the Cebu City Hall alang unta sa pagpatubig ni ini nga mga area. So, nato siya yung mga gipang mention nga mga mountain barangays in Cebu City. What are your thoughts, Cons, on this bickering between the Cebu City government versus MCWD, which is also now at the expense of the Cebuanos?
That is a sad reality. I am very familiar with that because ang kanimanggong hingala na to og supply nga gikan sa Losaran, dako kay na siya nga water supply. And it is now actually flowing from the area from Losaran, traversing to many barangays. And during the time it was approved, among gipatawag ang tanan nga mga barangay captain nga na igo niya ng area. So ningon sila, we are supporting that, but we would like to ask MCWD and of course the supplier of the bulk water to give us water. And that is the agreement. It is there in the memorandum agreement that this should be this should be given. But it's so sad that right now, until now, paghimo na mo another session, niingon ang supplier sa tubig, we have a lot of water. Tagan kami tubig, pero pagawasan na sa among tubo. Karon it goes down nga ang mga kabukiran like Guba, no, na Siraw, Pulang Bato, Binalyo, Agsungot, wala na sila tubig. Now, akong gipalo up ang manager, si Engineer Danuso, nindot kayo na siya nga manager, maayo, automatic siyang ningon, we have already the documents nga naglatid anak, nga butangan na nato. But again, the problem is the city government. So, it is very important, I think, in this forum, you could probably invite the city government. Because it's just a matter of signing it, and then the contractor will start laying the pipes and putting the meters. The water will be there.
Wala ba'y mabuhat ang konseho para ilabi ni siya ang pagpirma sa mga dokumento?
What we can do in the council, because we are a legislative body, we're going to make a request for the mayor to sign that permits in order to facilitate the giving of water to the constituents. Maura yun na. But between the away, between the chairman and the mayor, that is one thing that we should understand, and of course kita mo'y nego niya na.
Sige, Cons, and I think nga mausad ni ang panghutan ng daghan sa ato ang mga friends from the media ang nagpaabot about your plans for this 2025. Have you already made a decision on whether or not to run for mayor as you were invited by former Mayor Tomas Osmeña?
Okay, I'm willing to run. I told Tommy about it, and I was telling all my friends in the group, I'm willing to run if this will probably find a way to make 𝗙𝗲𝗄𝗀 still on the line, right? Karon murag wala naman sa linya tan-aw nila, so that's why some of our supporters go. Actually, niadto sa others, but I think it is very important that we should be there. And Tommy was saying that, look, if you run for mayor, I'll run for vice mayor, and then we will find ways to complete the team. I agree in a way, but I was telling Tommy that, look, give me time, because I mean, the willingness is not one of the ingredient to run, but some of the resources, like financial resources, you need that. If you cannot find it, then I don't run. So I am trying to find ways. How can I find it? And that is the question. So hopefully in the next few weeks or months, I could tell Tommy and the rest of the team that I will be running.
Pero nagka-meet na ba mo after that press con nga iyang gipatawag, Cons?
Yes.
And
yes.
then, is it also together with the BOPK mga members?
Yes. We normally meet thrice a week. We also go to the barangays for what we call as a meet and greet. Then, of course, nindot kayo among feeling na makakatuto ka sa barangay, nakakita ka sa imong mga constituents, and of course, the leaders, that they're happy. And of course, in that aspect, then this is one way of saying that, okay, I think you need to run. And this is, Tommy was saying that, well, they are already in place, and I think we need to have something like an alternate or an option for them to look.
So naana mo yung mga gipang identify, Cons, for the certain positions?
We have already that line, but we call that as a long list.
Long list
because
pa.
In BOPK, we believe in collaborative decisions. So it might be that Tommy has the biggest chunk of that decision, but basically we do consultations.
Pero how about for South District Representative, North District Representative? Pwede na ba na ito mapanganlan, Cons?
Yes. Well, this is probably about 90%.
Okay.
South District would be Congressman 𝗍𝗲𝗄𝗀.
Okay.
And the North District would be Councilor Mary Ann de los Santos.
Alright, sa konsehal, Cons, kinatay pwede mo.
Well, I can name a few, but not all. Well, in the North District, Councilor Babes Andales,
Okay.
Konsehal Alvin Dizon, he would be applying back from Sweden. Konsehal Alvin Arcilia.
Okay.
So I can name those probably three, and the South would be, of course, si Jose. Okay. Well, we're looking at Margot and Bea. So,
okay.
June Gaboya. So these are three also.
Sorry, Cons, Jose.
Jose Abellanosa.
Sa
Yeah,
Sorry.
the number 2 count
Okay, alright.
sa South District.
Ginhawa sa ta. But if ever you will decide, you have already decided to run for mayor of Cebu City, this will be the first time. Cons, what will be like your major platform for the city of Cebu?
Well, there's so many, if I can say that. This is just my view of things that we discussed with Tommy Ismania. So I was telling Tommy, look, Tom, in that case that you're telling me and you're asking me to be the mayor, if I will be the mayor, take note that I will be the mayor. And you will be my vice mayor. But, well, in my being a councilor right now, there's so many things that we need to put in. First, put in-house in order. We understand that there's so many, or most of the heads there are new, di ba? Some of them are even inexperienced. So you're putting something there na bag-o pa. O niya maglisod o da sa mga tao. So we could probably put in people there na kinahanglan na kamao na daan. The other one is try to find the right finances. Kanang mura og unsa man gyud klarong finances nato karon, because the finances is actually the fuel, murag gasolina na sa sakyanan. So right now, as you can see, we have a 25 billion project. Well, of course, the heads of the departments are putting their own budget in order to say, for example, 1 billion for a certain budget, let us say for a certain department. Unya, ang iya diang magasto is only 300 billion. So saan na niya pag-budget? So the budget for me should be realistic. Meaning to say, what is coming in should be the one that's coming out. That's basic for me. I mean, as a contractor, di ko pwedeng mapagawas og kwarta, kung bisan ganing ako pa'y papa, di ko pwedeng mapagawas og kwarta sa among pamilya kung ang among gisuod sa bulsa kanang mas gamay. So it's not a good financing scheme or accounting scheme. So karon naatay dako nga budget, wa ta kibawang pilay makuha nato. Unya unsaon man nimo pagpadagan. Di ba? So these are very important things nga angay gyud nato tan-awon.
To add siguro, Andy, no, with the existing branding karon sa Cebu City.
Yes.
Ingon man sila cons nga Singapore-like Cebu City
With Melbourne
features. And then si MCW Chair pod Daluz
A Brighter Cebu or Waisama Sugbo.
So unsay direction ka under your administration if ikaw ang mapili?
Right now, wag may kahuna pa na. I might be probably consulting with the friends kay kung lisod man kog kayo collaborative, ako ray musulti ana. So that's it.
To be announced. Okay, I know nga daghan sa kay pangutana no atong mga higala sa media, but of course, we would also love to know more about the first ever KANTAGilungsod Sonwriting Competition nga mahitabo ugma na gyud mga kauban. Ug inyo ning makita atong live streaming on My TV Cebu, and of course sa ato ang Facebook page pads Father Jonathan Rubin. Asa ni nato makit-an atong live stream aside from of course My TV?
Yes, you can also check on it via our FB page sa Cebu Archdiocesan Shrine of St. Pedro, Calungsod.
Yeah. So, Pads, can you tell us more about this competition? Unya, nganong namugna man ninyo?
Yeah, siguro no, the first topics talk about problems in the city, BRT, so naglalis. So I think at the end of the day, kitang tanan mga igsuon, and we are all brothers and sisters before God, before Christ. So I think, right and fitting it nga, ang end sa atong open line karon is all about our faith. So that at the end of the day, di kita maglalis, magsabot kita unsay padulungan nato alang sa kalambuan. And of course, that development should also be rooted in our faith, especially mga Cebuanos, mga anak, igsoon ni Señor Santo Niño. And of course, KANTAGilungsod ni San Pedro Calungsod. So that's why this year, we are so blessed because we will be celebrating the 25th Fiesta celebration. Imagine, 25 years nang magpiesta ta sa labing unang Bisaya nga Santo, Martir. Atuwa na karon sa langit. And that, in this fiesta, it is very, significant because we will also be celebrating it via the first Pedro KANTAGilungsod Sonwriting Competition, in which for the last 25 years we have been singing songs. We have fallen in love with the songs composed by Monsignor Rudy Villanueva, Monsignor 𝗙𝗲𝗄𝗀. Now, of course, we do not leave them as nga mauna. We also have to show that our faith, our devotion to Pedro Calungsod has also grown in years. So that's why, through our new songs na compose sa atong mga composers, mga gifted kay nga mga lyricists, we will have this as our highlight. So napili na ang top 10. So to name them, so we have this San Pedro Calungsod, iyan po mo kami. O San Pedro Calungsod, sundalo sa pagtuo, halangdo San Pedro Calungsod, faithful companion, San Pedro Calungsod among gabayan, imong ipakita, Pedro a seed of Christ, sa imong kabatanon, we come to celebrate. Again, all these songs are composed, are sung, all to honor or to pray to the Lord through San Pedro Calungsod. Again, kitang mga Cebuano, mga Bisaya, di kita mabalakan at mga problema, maglalista, di kita mag-abot. At the end of the day, naagitay tig-ampo sa langit. Si San Pedro Calungsod makasabot sa atong sinultihan, makasabot sa atong kahimtang.
At unsa man ni atong mga kanta? Bisaya, English, Tagalog?
We have, so basic title, we have, most of them are actually sung Cebuano, but we also have 3 songs in English.
Unsa man ato ang mechanics ani kanu sa mo nag-open sa competition? How out of the 10 nga top finalists, pila gid ka book entries ang inyong nadawat, Pads?
Actually, unexpected. We launched it last December 16, 2023 during the first Misa de Gallo. Kami mag-expect nga moabot tag 45 entries. 45 entries, and of course, lisod ka ang trabaho sa itong mga screening directors, judges. Out of 45, we're able to have first top 10. And of course, familiar names. Magpakita lang veteran smoke kaayo.
But how about the judges tomorrow? Kinsa, if you could name them.
Judges, we have of course priests and our rector of the shrine, Father Alvin. And of course, we have the famous names in the music industry, labi na sa Cebu. Watch just for us to find out tomorrow, for us to really get excited as to what's going to happen for tomorrow evening.
Pads, nag-mention naman yun ka nga kanang kinahanglan out of all the chaos, kanang at the end of the day, we are still brothers and sisters na mina itong mga kabatanunan. If you could remind everyone about the virtues of San Pedro Calungsod, especially to the young ones today.
The official prayer of San Pedro Calungsod, we have this very inclusive, no? Pedro Calungsod, estudyante, katekista, batanong higala, migrante, all sectors, especially among the young. You know what? I think, especially it's so hard, it's so sad that every now and then we hear young men, young boys and girls ending themselves, committing suicide, manglayat sa bridge. We pray for them, no? I know how difficult it is for you. But I think, no, kana atong term nga mga batanon mo yung taglaban lang sa life. We cannot do that by ourselves, no? Kay kita lang mulaban, wag imulaban nato. Labi na kita mga kalimtan. Laban lang would mean also laban lang with God, laban lang with Pedro Calungsod, who himself at that time, he must have been confused. Mubiya ba siyang Blessed Diego Luis de San Vitores? because he witnessed on his own or before him that 𝗟𝗂 was murdered in front of him. He could have just run away for his life, and yet he was there. He persevered with 𝗟𝗂 Luis de San Vitores. I think the key is perseverance. Laban lang. At the end of the day, it's not our life, it's God's given life for all of us.
And maybe, Father, for the prices sa makadaog ani. And gawa siguro, ana, Father, unsa po'y mapaabot sa mga winners nato? Will their songs be played sa atong mga parokya?
Yeah. After the KANTAGilungsod night, all the songs, the top 10, will be sung before the Mass. And of course, the prizes, nga mao sige atong kika-excite kay di man ni kuan. So, first prize ginagmay lang sa ta, no? 50,000. Second, 30, third, 20. Consolation prize for all the non-winners, we will have 10,000, and we also have best arranger, best interpreter, best video, and people's choice, especially sa ilang MTV.
Pwede ba makatanaw ang public ani live kung gusto gid sila mo adto ugma aside sa atong live streaming, asa man sila kapalit og tickets, Pads?
Pwede gid kaayo. So our tickets is at the Shrine of San Pedro Calungsod. Ako lagi ni iklaro ha. The Shrine of San Pedro Calungsod is the one which is located sa Archbishop's residence compound. Ang sa mall sa SRP chapel na siya. Kaya daghang mga hitabo nga ang shrine adto. There are many funny things that happen nga nagpakasal niya sa shrine, ni kuyawan ang groom kay wag niabot ang bride, tapos ang bride dito gida sa chapel. So ato giniklarohon, the one in the SRP is the chapel, of course indot kaayo ang iyang design, but the shrine dedicated first to San Pedro Calungsod is the one located at the Archbishop's residence compound. And there at the office you can purchase ticket for 1,000. That's with dinner and of course for shore seats. And for those who may just want to watch live, you can just go at the start na lang at mga around 8 p.m. Open gate na siya.
Okay. So ang katong 1,000 Pads mo tong gustong mo avail sa dinner.
Dinner and nagilingkuranan.
Okay.
Kaya nga tong space limited naman sa Diyosia.
All right. Thank you kaayo, Father Jonathan. Sa mong katuhato ng atangan, ugmang adlaw na. Alright, so this time, I know nga daghan sa pong pangutana alang sa ato mga panelists. So anybody who would like to start, the mic stand is over there. Please do not forget to introduce yourselves, name and organization. Iris.
Good morning, panelists. Good morning, cons. I have questions for Councilor Archival. I am Iris Mascardo of the Freeman newspaper. Cons, I would like to go back to the BRT issue. You've authored a resolution urging both provincial and city government to sit down and have a dialogue, and the mayor has refused to meet with the government. So, is there any chance, cons, we could reiterate this call, considering that there's an urgency in the traffic congestion?
Yes, that's correct, Iris. Maunay akong buhaton kay siguro kung imo manggong iatubang ang arguments ibutang sa media, there are some things that misinterpret. So that's why during the time nga naa sila yung mga argumento, medyo naay, of course, naay emotions nga maigo, no? But right now, kung mahuna-huna sa atong duha ka heads sa Cebu City o sa atong provincial government, it might be ni-die down na to ang emotion. So hopefully, ang atong mayor o ang atong governor, magkasabot sila. Because again, this is for the good of everybody.
But considering, cons, nga there has been a refusal on the mayor's side, so will there be a counter resolution perhaps on our side sa legislation?
Yes, well, first I would probably make another resolution to that effect. And makita gud ninyo, unanimous gud to. ang tanang tao or tanan nga mga group ang members sa atong council ni approve yun ato. So meaning to say nga ganahan gyud sila nga ma-resolve ang atong gamay nga agormento between the mayor and the governor nga masulbad. Kay I think kung dili gyud ni masulbad, ang tan-aw gyud nako there would be something like mangita tag court decision. Bisag we call that as a friendly complaint or a friendly suit. Because wa man gilain para nako nga makasolve ni ani.
Also, I would like to clarify, Sir, there will be a chance to the extent of court intervention kung dili gyud magkamit ang minds atong provincial and city government.
I think so. I mean, I should also, in my case, I should also consult some of my friends kung unsaon ni nga mopadung ni dito sa korte. Kay og mag-stand off ni wa gyud mahimo kibaw ka kung moabot ang ting-uwan unya pagkahuman ay daghang lungag din ha, there would be some accidents nga mahimo nya kinsa may mabasol niya na, di ba? Ang duha ra gihapon ka nga institution. Nya plus the fact kung madpadung na unya na ditong mga debris at the same time kana mga pusti padung sa ubos, again there would be some accidents mahimo.
But last on this issue, there has been a harmony man sad sa provincial board and the city legislation nga and part sa resolution sad cons nga sa inyong dialogue nga appeal ang city legislators and the provincial board. Possible ra ba cons nga mintahi kung dili lang jud mosagot si Gov ug si Mayor kamo lang sa
Yeah, you've given me an idea. I will probably I mean I should thank you for that because I haven't thought for that. Ang ako siguro from the Vice Mayor itself and
provincial board.
Vice Governor. So we will be having that resolution dayon. I'll make that because of you group here nga nakakam up ta ana.
Okay, cons.
Thank you for that.
Okay, cons. Last
Go
lang,
ahead.
another issue lang, cons. Going back to the threat of the groundwater volume, cons, particularly in the water source of Cebu, you said that the MCWD General Manager has been cooperative. So, is there a chance that the ongoing dispute of the MCWD and the city government has affected these dynamics?
Can you bring back that question? Is there a
Is there a chance nga the ongoing dispute of the MCWD and the city governments has affected the dynamics of permits para ma-prevent nato ang threat sa groundwater cons?
That's very clear. That's very clear. It is ang gisulti sa MCWD o sa supplier sa bulk water, the water is already in the pipes. It's a matter of getting that water and bringing it to the barangays. So, klaro kayo na. Ang dili lang ng naka-hindrance ang permits na i-release aron makasugod na silang trabaho. So, kung dili na ma-release, like for example, kaning lines gikan dinhi sa ng road bitaw sa SRP, kinahanglan tag tubig dito sa may area sa Mambaling. Padung dito sa SRP, mga locators. Until na wala pa man na ma-aprobahi, kay of course man pa-aprobahi sa Sitom. And dito sa mga barangay sa Bukid, wala man sa aprobahi ang permits. So ang atong supplier, ganahan na gyud kayo sila ngingon nga, Sir, sa council ba, tagain namin yung permit. The water is there, it's a matter of transferring it to the locators. So, ang klaro ani, ang dispute between the manager and the city government maugyoy nakapahunong.
Okay.
Mo request on tata siguro naay media ang inyong online atong ma-open sila ma-invite. That would be the best suggestion because that is open. Makakita ang tanang tao kung say argumento. And by that time, I think that is the time ingon sa mayor, I will sign it. And when are you going to deliver it?
Okay.
That's the best thing, di ba?
Morning role sa media cons.
I would be very happy with that.
But sa legislation cons, dili ra ta mo make og resolution urging both sides also to sit down.
I can make it too. No problem. I will do that. Thank you, Iris.
Thank you, Consultant Iris. Next question, please. John?
Cons, good morning. John Kimbote from GMA DYSS. Cons, ari lang ko sa political nga side na pangutana naman din ako si former Mayor Tom regarding sa... Akong question niya is, unsaon mo pag-describe ang katong tulo ka mga nagpadayag ng mudagan as mayor sa Cebu City, si Yogi, si Rama, and si Dalus. Ang gingon ni former Mayor Tom nga kuwang, no? Cebu City needs more. Ako untang ihatag ang question nimo if okay ra ka mo hatag og comment. Unsa mo pag-describe ang kining tulo ka mga nagpadayag ng mudagan as mayor sa Cebu City, Cons? Unsa mo one word, depends unsa imong pag-describe, unsa mo sila pag-describe.
Sa tinuod dyan, pag yun ko kahuna-huna, I'm sorry for that. I must be very frank with you. Wala yun na ako. Ang ako lang, gitanaw na ako, kinsa sa mayor, kinsa si former konsehal Joey De Luz. Gitanaw sad na ako ang usang what did ko kaila?
Yugi.
Yes, yeah. Maurang yun na for the meantime. So, ang iyang, of course, ang iyang agi, makita man ninyo. Ang mayor, makita sa ninyo si Joey. The same way, katong ang usa nga wala na ko kaila, it might be kaila mo kay naaman mo sa media. So, but for the meantime, I'm sorry, John. I cannot.
It's okay.
I cannot answer.
Okay, thank you, Cons.
Curious lang ko, Cons, sa tubag ni former Mayor Tom ato imong giingon nga kumudagan di kog mayor, ako ang mayor.
That's correct. That's correct. Because there's some conceptions nga mahimo ra gyud kang kuan.
Yes.
Kuan ni Tommy, no, from the experiences that you have with Tommy, kay bawag yun ko nga, we will be in sync.
Okay.
Because kung imong tan-awon ang kalidad manggod sa BOP nga prinsipyo, it's a principle, we call that as shepherd leadership. Basically, ang iyang tan-aw is guidance. Mao gina tan-aw guidance. The guidance basically is we are of course we are told or we're being informed that we should have our goals. Kinahanglan klaro gyud ang atong goals. Unya kinahanglan kasabot ang tanan.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, kinahanglan, kamong mga konsehal, let's say the leaders, should have your own autonomy. Na mo executive functions, which we have already done in the past. So once you have that goal and you have that autonomy, you can already deliver things to your constituents.
But did he assure you of that specific request of yours?
Yes, that's your call. That's the thing that I was sharing to him. Okay. I'm the mayor. So go ahead and that's your call.
Okay.
Good morning po, Dre. Fabi Madaham po, Bibs intern of My TV Cebu po. Mag-ask lang unta ko clarifications, Dre, if the competitions po ba, was it open for all or specific lang po ba nga from Cebu ang maka-join? And then, follow-up lang po of established na budget po nga from Ginatilan, Cebu ang roots po ni San Pedro?
During the launching, we really open it like the whole. But usually, in fact, we have one entry coming from Kaohsiung, Taiwan, one of the finalists. But of course, Cebuano, who is based in Taiwan, Kaohsiung. So it was really open, internationally, nationally, and providentially, those who pass as finalists, most of them are actually from Cebu. And about the place, no, it's on the books. It's like Hinatilan, but we're not really into the specific place, but we're really into that he really was based in Cebu.
Thank you. Follow up lang po, are there future plans po for siguro second leg of the competition, or would there be a second run for the competition po?
We just have to finish this first and then we'll reflect and pray if kaya pa sa susunod.
Sige po. Thank you, Dre.
Thank you.
All right. Do we have any other questions? Okay, Joanne, and then yes, sir.
Good morning. I am Joanne from My TV Cebu intern. Mr. Councilor Archival, this question is for you. So, in a press con held by former Mayor Tommy Osmeña last Tuesday in Harold's Hotel, he made mention that he is willing to be your vice mayor if you ran for mayor. And one of the reporters there asked, how will Sir Tommy make you stronger? And he said he will campaign for you. So does that mean that if there is the financial means, like especially since he will be campaigning for you, you will definitely run for mayor?
Again, Joanne, I was telling the earlier that well, I'm willing, and my one of the endorser is Tommy, and the biggest hindrance right now, as I could see, is the finances. So what I'm trying now to do is find that. If I can find that, bahala gamay, then I'll go for it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the clarification, Sir Archival.
Good morning, everyone. Kenneth Rivera of DYCM Tingog sa Lungsod. My question is for Father. I have no more questions for Councilor Nestor because he was our guest yesterday during our live feed, Tingog sa Lungsod. Father, kuha na lang ako because personally, I'm a devotee of San Pedro Calungsod. Way back pa nga katong during sa time ni Monsignor sa katong sa youth, katong gisondan ni Monsignor Navales. So wala ti pa siya Santos, and then I'm compiling the songs kang Monsignor Villanueva o kang Monsignor Leison. So in connection with this competition, do you plan to have a CD nga gi-compile ang mga finals just like kanang sa Cebu Pop gani? Because I for one will probably mupalit ko ana.
Thank you for that question, Kenneth. So here we have actually this is for sale during the competition night.
During sa competition na siya.
And then in a CD in a USB form. So the 10 finalists, their music videos and all other videos will be here.
For us to know, pilay amount.
We hope you can visit the competition night and find out. Around 500.
Okay. Okay. No more, Father. Thank you.
Questions? Wala na? Wala na tayo dugang mga pangutana? Okay, so if that's the case, we would like to give our panelists the opportunity to give their closing statements for all of our viewers. May we start with you, Councilor Archival?
Well, first of all, I would like to thank the online team for inviting me and sharing the things that I have, I have in mind and I have also experienced, especially in the city government, that regards about water and of course regarding BRT. And I'm just here being a counselor, and I'll do my best to do what is important to serve, of course, the community. And if you have some questions, you can call me anytime. Thank you.
Daghan kayong salamat, Councilor Archival, and of course, Father Jonathan Rubin.
Just like Councilor Nestor Archival, I'd like to thank, of course, the Open Line team, especially my TV, Andy, the crew, the production, for inviting me to promote this event of our shrine, the Cebu Archdiocesan Shrine of San Pedro Calungsod, in which we highlight this year his fiesta, the first Pedro 𝗙𝗲𝗄𝗀 Sonwriting Competition. So as we thank the MyTV, everyone, the friends in the media, I'd like to invite all of you, especially those of you following with us now online, to come and celebrate with us first, starting tomorrow, the opening salvo at 5:30 in the afternoon at the shrine, again, inside the Archbishop's residence compound.
Hakosalem.
That's where we celebrate the fiesta 25 years this year. And we started with the night of music, songs for San Pedro Calungsod. And of course, days following that, we'll have the novena from March 14 to 22. we have 3 masses daily, 9 a.m., 12, and 6 p.m. Fiesta, we will have 7 masses, 6, 9, 10, 12, 2, 4, and 7 p.m. At 4 p.m., our mass celebrant will be coming from Guam. No? The administrator of Guam, si Father 𝗙𝗲𝗂𝗺. Because as we know, Pedro Calungsod was martyred in Guam. So we really have invited someone from Guam to attest how Pedro Calungsod has also influenced them. And lastly, as I mentioned earlier, we have so many concerns, challenges in life, especially our relationships in matters of politics, matters of development, that at times our relationships are also challenged. But at the end of the day, we need faith, we need prayer, and rest assured, every time we pray, we also have our very own 𝗙𝗲𝗄𝗀, who is there in heaven, praying for us, praying with us. May San Pedro Calungsod intercede for us in all our endeavors in life.
Amen. Ato pakpakan, ato ang mga panelists. Thank you very much, Cebu City Councilor Nestor Archival and Father Jonathan Rubin. And of course, daghan kayong salamat to our friends from the media. Full house ta karon. Daghan sab kaayong salamat to our partners. Once again, International Marketing Group, Manila Bankers Assurance, Kaiser International Health Group Incorporated, Kaiser Medical Center, and the Reyes Optical. This has been Andrea Patania Matthew.
And this is Angie Saniel.
See you all next Tuesday. Daghang salamat.
And your family, and be certain with your future with Fidelity Life. It has been a long-time dedicated partner of IMG that provides life insurance benefit exclusively to its members to meet the risk protection needs. In partnership with Everest Memorial Services, Fidelity Life is also providing its members with free access to 24/7 Memorial Concierge services. With the consent of the beneficiary, Fidelity Life shall apply the insurance benefit to cover the expenses for the memorial services of the deceased member. At Fidelity Life, the care of our members and their families is our first and most important business. Be life confident by protecting your loved ones and securing your future.
Someday, you will get older, slower, grayer, but also wiser, calmer, and freer than ever. At Kaiser, we help you prepare for those years ahead, so you can keep doing what you love with the people that matter the most. Prepare for your future today. Kaiser International Health Group, the first name in healthcare.
Before IMG,
I was a civil engineer, accountant. I was a plain housewife.
Before IMG, I used to be a doctor.
I was a maintenance crew.
factoring operator.
I'm a housewife. I was an accounting clerk. I am a medical doctor.
I am an engineer.
Before IMG, I used to be a teacher.
I was a government employee.
A production worker.
I am a bank employee.
Before IMG, I was an admin staff.
I was a seaman.
A design engineer. I was a deli manager.
I was a telecom engineer. Before IMG, I was quality director.
I used to be a doctor, production operator, an industrial engineer.
IT home-based freelancer.
Before IMG, I was a manufacturing specialist. I was an exporter, admin officer. I was a florist.
Before IMG, I was a service crew.
I'm great.
I am great.
I am
G. I am great. IMG. IMG.
IMG. I am great. I am MG. I am great.
I am great.
I am great.
I am great. IMG.